Plundering riches! And one little submarine won't save you at all. The power within! Deep within the planet exists a power unmatched, geothermal energy. For years, we have wasted our efforts on other forms of energy, but now, as the drilling subsides within our new borehole, we are on the cusp of near limitless power! How then shall we use it? To power a mighty industry or fuel our ingenious creations? With power such as this at our disposal, we will be unmatched in glory! More production! More power for our military machine! It's time we channeled the raw power of this planet towards our own production. The planet's thermal energy will power our industries for some time to come. Excellent. Our war machine is getting hot up, heated up by the planet since it's geothermal power. Yes. Ah, you're done with your augmentary. Very good. Optical surgery. Every bit of help is needed right now. At a war on this scale? If we cannot defend and we don't deserve to have them, well, I did just defend it. Fool. Askia, that won't be enough to defend yourself against that legion that is coming. You're glad to have my auto sled there. Now you'll see the heroes of the Empire do what they do best. End threats to all of us. And this is how we do it. With grace. You still think you have struck us down? But really, you've made them more powerful than you can possibly imagine. I've heard those fruitless words from various Jedi before. It never lasts. You will no longer form a threat to the rest of the planet, and no longer betray us to Zakul. To the dungeons with him! Let's work on transcendental math. An alien adaptation will do.
Mathematical proof is the only foundation for ethics that I can respect. Progress in mathematics is progress in morality.
Was that from one of Dr. Tulline's papers? I seem to remember her that, and she was a math professor.
All opposing forces start to resemble each other as conflict continues.
Yes. I've heard an old fallen Jedi, I believe, preached that.
The food of this planet passes through our bodies and enriches us, just as we pass through the body of this planet and enrich it.
Well, hopefully we won't rot as easily. Since we can't burn it, I suppose we will have to annex it. This'll be a good joke. If I ever see that little bastard Sif again, who tried to defy my will when we tried to restore Raya, we'll send it to a nice frozen waste of ice. Let's see, how does his name spelled again? Oh yes! There! I'll be sure to make a nice governing office / prison for him. Our left tanks can finally be improved. Prime left tanks? Or evolved left tanks? Well, their speed has been a huge problem, so that should be worked on. I hate these slow moving columns. A Xeno swarm. How disgusting! We're not using that! Aliens need to be executed and eaten, not used on combat. Yeah. Work on Blah. I haven't drunk enough. Let's drink. Ah, good light beer. That always helps me. A few beers always helps me command a massive army. Now then, I still can't do it. Gene Gardens, there we go. Another squaw of beer and that'll do it. That'll improve the health, provide more medicine for our people. Now let's repair our forces. And then prepare to march on the Jedi. Our friends and potential romantic interest will not be threatened as such. It's time to finish this with you. Today we bring you... Yes, here we go. Today, let's see. No, unfortunately today we won't bring you properly into the Imperial fold. Tomorrow we will bring you properly into the Imperial fold. Yes! Well, that looks impressive. Oh, that must be that euphoric strength they were talking about. Seems familiar, somehow. Like a controlled sun.
I eagerly anticipate the results of infusing additional solar capital into moribund benthic ecosystems. Disruption is always a positive force.
Let's see. Euphotic strand, yes. Beyond the distant planet's initial spectroscopic scans to detect liquid water and the preceding base reading of contamination levels, study of alien oceans could not be a scientific priority until the procedure of colonization was complete. Even then, after all the scientific pursuits concluded and the oceanic study was viable, The lack of submersible technology to provide a stable research environment limited investigation to the shallow epipelagic zone of the sea. The euphotic strands removed such limitations. Roland Walton, director of Walton Marine Technologies, now a subsidiary of the Glorious Empire, noted that the strand would allow researchers to peer into the shadow below us and discover what was hiding there. The euphotic strand is a network of lamps and heat sources that cling to a city's anchor like a curious sea creature whose phosphorescent tendrils illuminate the surrounding dark. Providing more than mere illumination, the strand induces photosynthesis at a greater depth, increasing the range and diversity of aquatic life around the city. Laboratory and observation pods hang from the strand, allowing scientists to capitalize on the artificial ecosystem and obtain swifter and more sweeping insights into the planet's oceanic life. So we have made a giant life day light strand, is what you're saying. We've wasted that energy on this. Well, if it helps science, I suppose. Within the first week of service, hundreds of new aquatic organisms were documented. Some recorded fleeing from the tremendous flood of life, while others were found attracted to the strands. Observation windows as if attempting to consume or mate with the laboratories. What is it with this oceanic life that always wants to mate with every technological marvel we make? I mean, I know I get excited sometimes when we make new cannons, but I don't actively try to mate with it. Even if cannons sometimes prove temptingly phallic. There were some detractors who speculated that the change to the environment may disrupt herefore unknown ecosystem or life forms that could pose an unanticipated hazards to the strand. Or even that the city that supports it. In support of their apprehension, deep sea probes reported syncopated flashing lights that, when analyzed, match the pulsing light of the strands as it drifts in the currents. The size of the unknown source of light was calculated to be 3 times that of the strand. The worried scientists insisted that the source of light was intelligent, trying to communicate either in playful imitation or like the old Earth anglerfish. Luring observers to come closer, the pulses eventually ceased and the detractors quieted. Spooky, that. A Markov eclipse. But no, we need to work on health. Optical surgery everywhere. And here. And here. Keeping the lights on. We're talking about lights again. The tidal turbines are hugely powerful, even dangerously so. Our financial district reports huge gains with power it generates, and is asking for more output. However, low-income households that live close to the turbine housing say they can barely sleep at night for the constant churning. We could install baffles that would keep these communities safer and more comfortable, but if we throttle up the turbines, the housing project around it would suffer and probably degrade. We can't have... Normally, I'd say pump it into power. However, with all the conquest we're doing, we need our people to be as comfortable as possible lest they start rebelling again. No citizen is too lowly to be beneath basic protection. Indeed, every part of our society is as vital as the other. as I've said in the past, and a decent place to live. We will safeguard their communities and find another source of power elsewhere. Now, today, we properly bring the North Sea Alliance into the Imperial fold as it should have been from the start. Let this change be heralded with cannon fire and a swift attack of our ships.
We've scraped our knuckles before.
Quite a sotter we got ourselves into, and you deserve recognition. Cheers to the victor. Well, your attitude is actually quite well. And this war was not really wholeheartedly done, still. I won't throw you into dungeons. I will incorporate you as a governor or such a sort, as long as you acknowledge our superiority. Thank you. Good night. Let's take organics and communication.
Life is an inherently depreciating asset. One of the finest shadings of communication is the difference between "I didn't understand that" and "I understand that, but I don't care."
Entertaining thoughts for in diplomacy. View the city. Is it worth anything? No. You will be raised as well, and only Castle Cull will remain. That way, the simpleton won't have to manage too much. The Immortal. Ah. Genetically improved Sith, as well as our best soldiers, given special power armor and a high-powered gun that a normal man could never wield with the amount of kickback. I doubt we'll be seeing much of these on the battlefield, really. I prefer to have our people stay back and control our droid armies remotely, or have them pilot our massive tank force. And our grip on the sea here is now completely secured. Let's go watch the Republic. They have been suspiciously quiet. I'm curious how the Jedi are doing. Ah, there their force arrives. Yes, ever closer to it. Good, hold fast, my ally! We fight with you! Crush 'em!
Le commerce fonctionne quand on comprend l'autre.
Very well, humanitarian, once again. Blasted cannons! Perhaps we should provide a few more auto sleds. We need troops to actually claim the cities, despite how awesome our left destroyers are. Lord Diar, log entry number 19. My new charges. I welcome you to the Lost Empire. You will now be part of an unstoppable march of progress. You will no longer be tied down to the form you were born with. So long as you have the imagination and spirit, you will have the power. You will always have a place in a society that maximizes your potential and that works united as one towards a common goal of order and progress. The only thing that is demanded from you in turn is that you accept and embrace your duty with honor. There will be struggles as your cities and communities are integrated. There will be struggles as we defend ourselves and every other being on this planet, and maybe one day the galaxy. But you will only need to visit the heartlands of our empire to see that our joint future is better than scrambling and finding a path alone. So, let us face the galaxy together. Let us march together. Let us march to victory! End of log entry.